Learning to live without the attachment. When there is no desire, all things are at peace. I think it's super important to have this key skill within yourself, within your life, and ultimately what I'm talking about here is basically when you put so much value on certain outcomes. So I think it's natural for us as humans to do that. Everything we do, we want certain outcomes, whether it's starting a new business, starting a YouTube channel, starting playing any sports or anything, everything. It seems to be within our nature to have certain desired outcomes instead of focusing purely on the process and accepting the process for what it is. I think what I'm really talking about here is the difference between striving and arriving. When you are striving and forcing your life, you create friction and you actually create a bigger separation from your desired outcome, instead of accepting and allowing and creating a sort of unbreakable bond between your letting go and your acceptance of the process. Because when you do that, you actually come closer to the desired outcome that you wanted in the first place. It's just you don't value it as much. You value the actual process. You build satisfaction from actually doing the right thing in the moment and focusing on the process instead of focusing on the outcome. And I think a lot of us do this. We put our happiness on the other side of certain outcomes. For example, when I have this, I'm going to be happy. When this happens, I'm going to be happy. When I get this and I'm in this place and I'm with this person, I'm going to be happy. You can learn to be happy now, in this moment. Stop putting so much value and desire on the outcome of something or anything that you are doing. I've experienced this a lot within pursuing trading success, but it also translates to everything in life. For example, go back to your school days. If you liked a girl, she was in your same class, you were sitting next to her, for example. There's two basic scenarios within how you could operate. You could operate from a forcing, striving, scarcity mindset, or you can operate from a allowing, letting go and acceptance mindset. The latter, you will find so much more peace and you will find so much more natural ways of being compared to the first kind of way of life where you are constantly you think the more effort, the more kind of brute force you put into something, you think that you're going to get closer to the desired outcome, when in reality, again, you're just creating a bigger force and a bigger separation from you and that outcome. I use that as an example because most of us have been in school where we like someone, and maybe you have experienced that where you've ultimately tried too hard, you've become the try-hard, and you've put too much brute force into trying to get something, when if you just allowed the processes naturally to happen, you probably would have got the outcome, the desired outcome in the first place. Living without striving and living with just letting go is one of the best skills you can have in your life, and it translates to everything.